So listen, y'all already know who this is. This be your girl, just Nikki NYC. I want to thank you for tuning into my channel. I want to thank my already subscribers, and I want to thank the people that is soon to subscribe to my channel for tuning in. So basically, y'all already know what it is. It's your favorite girl from NYC. I'm a wife, a mom, and basically, I just want to show y'all my life, you know what I'm saying? But today is going to be a story time. It's going to be a story time. And the reason why I'm doing a story time is because I've been dealing with something for a long time, and I feel like I need to get it out there. Maybe somebody could point me into the right direction of what I should do, or who I could speak to, or just how I can move forward with the situation. So basically, you guys already know I'm a mom. I have a 13-year-old daughter. I'm going to not say her name, but they basically tried to tell me that my daughter had an intellectual disability, right? This is in Florida, Hillsborough County, Tampa. They tried to tell me that my daughter had an intellectual disability. For those of y'all that don't know what intellectual disability is, like a low form of retardation. That's the new word for now, 2022. You know what I'm saying? So I had to tell them, listen, if my daughter had an intellectual disability, there's no way that I would have moved to Florida. I would have stayed in New York City, where I'm from, where my daughter would have got the best services that she needed to accommodate whatever type of disability that she had, right? Quote unquote. So they kept telling me, she needs to go in this classroom. She needs to be here. And then one teacher told me that it ain't nothing wrong with my daughter. She's just a little far behind. She don't meet certain criteria. This is before she got the diagnosis. My bad. Like, I just left a whole bunch out. But before she got diagnosed, they said she don't meet the criteria of being in a smaller setting. In Florida, in New York, my daughter was in a smaller setting. 2 teachers, 12 kids or less. 10 the most. No, 12 the most, 10 the least. Sorry. So, out here, they don't have that. Out here, you gotta be severely emotionally disturbed, or you gotta be, like, have some real emotionally behavior going on, like aggressive behavior, or autism, or IND, intellectual disability. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only diagnoses, let me not say the only, but the 4 that you will be able to, can I say, go into a smaller setting. Y'all know where I'm trying to get at. So if you fall in that criteria of having any of them 4 disabilities, then you'll be able to get into a smaller setting where it's like maybe 10, 12 kids. I got something in my eye. 10, 12 kids, 2 teachers in the classroom. So the teacher Ben told me, she was like, listen, she was like, your daughter, she ain't got none of that. So I said, so what? Y'all gonna just keep pushing her up? Y'all just gonna keep moving her up or whatever to the next grade? I'm writing these letters to these teachers. I'm telling them, like, yo, my daughter, she not getting it. Like, this too hard. She don't, excuse me, I just got diagnosed with COVID today too. So y'all gotta keep me in prayer. It's my second time having COVID. But anywho, they kept, I'm writing them like, yo, my daughter, she not getting it. She don't know the word. Like, it's too much. All for them to ignore my ass. Like, they ignored me. You know what I'm saying? They totally ignored me. They ignored me. So they want to have an IEP meeting. So I go to the IEP meeting. First of all, I was very embarrassed. Like, I didn't even know that they moved that like that out here in Florida. Like, they be doing some wicked stuff. They be doing some wicked stuff out here. I'm sitting in the middle of the classroom, and I got, like, when I tell you, it had to be at least like 15 people. So we got the main people from Tallahassee. We got the social worker. We got all of the teachers. So we got the math teacher, the science teacher, reading teacher, ELA teacher, speech therapist, all of them, right? Principal, assistant principal, ESC coordinator, and the list goes. Like I can't even remember. I don't even know how many people that was that I just said, but it was mad people in the room. Oh, and then it was this one lady, the school safety officer, which I thought really cared about my daughter and her interests. But she done came up in there and just was talking mad greasy. And I'm like, oh, like, word. Like, I thought you was for us here. But she wasn't. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't. And I never even, comment down below, I never even heard of no damn school safety officer coming to an IEP meeting for your kid. If that ever happened to you, then hey, listen, I'm sorry, but I never heard of no stuff like that in my life. But anywho, so I got all of these teachers, right? All of these teachers, principals, AP, psychologists, ESC. I got all of these people sitting around me in a circle, like my ring light is a circle, right? And I'm in the middle, like my phone is in the middle of the circle, like that's me. And they telling me about my kid, you know? And me, you know, I get offended. I get very offended because they be thinking that minorities is dumb. They be thinking that all black people is stupid and that all black people just don't know what the hell they talking about. And that's why I want to say, like, for me, whatever I don't know, I go research it. I will stay up all night researching whatever it is that I need to research, because when I come talk to you, we going to be able to, look, we going to be here. We going to see eye to eye. Like my daddy say, we here, little sis, we here. We going to be on the same damn level. You feel me? So I'm like, okay. Now I'm already in defensive mode because, first of all, y'all ain't even tell me what I was walking into. I'm thinking it's just going to be the main teachers that I've been interacting with for the year and the ESC specialist and maybe the principal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was humiliated. Like, I felt this low. I really, like, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I wanted to cry. I really wanted to cry. I got so emotional, but I had to hold this together because I'm not going to let none of these people see me break down. You know what I'm saying? And fold under pressure. I was very overwhelmed, but you know what? I had to keep it together. And I had to tell them, as they all sat down and introduced themselves to me. Hi, Miss. I'm not going to say my real name because this is social media. So we just going to say, I need to find a Rue. I'm going to say Rue. They'd be like, hey, Miss Rue. How you doing? It's nice to meet you. All reserved and shit. Hey, Miss Rue. My name is Miss Smith. Okay, I gotta make up a name for my daughter. I'm Chanel's math teacher. Hey, Miss Rue. I'm Chanel's English teacher. Hey, Miss Rue, it's finally nice to meet you. I've heard so many great things about you. I'm your daughter's ESC teacher. And I'm like, yo, when I tell you that shit was like, it was rehearsed. Like, I'm like, I never even heard of you. Where you came from? Oh, matter of fact, I remember you. I remember when school first started, you introduced yourself through a paper, and I ain't never heard nothing from you again until now. I've emailed you, I've texted you, I've called you, I've written you hand letters, right? Telling you that this work is too hard for my daughter, right? You never responded. But here it is, at the end of the school year, you want to tell me something? You never called me. I've been asked you. You the social worker, the I've been asked y'all niggas for a behavior intervention plan. A BIP. It's called the BIP. Behavior intervention plan. Been asked them for a behavior intervention plan. Never gave me nothing. And let me tell y'all, this video will not be edited. It's like, this is going to be straight raw dog. Because I'm still working on editing my videos. I mean, I got good lighting, you know, and it's just raw content. So the video is not going to be edited. But like I was saying, like, to have people sit and tell you about your child and negative shit about your child, and you know that you a hands-on parent, you know you are interactive at their school, you know you active, you social, you speak to them. They say, hey, Miss Rue, how you doing? You know, she's making great progress. Like, it wasn't none of that stuff. Like, it wasn't none of that stuff. Like, everything was really rehearsed. And it's like to sit in a room in the middle of them and have them telling me about, like, I really felt like this. I got to be 100. I got to keep it honest. Like, I really felt like, you know what I'm saying? But I had to put on my big girl drawers, right? And I had to smile and I had to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And then they tried to tell me, oh, yeah, so this is the diagnosis. This is the diagnosis that we found, Miss Rue. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the diagnosis? Matter of fact, pause. It was a conversation that was had before the IEP meeting. So the school psychologist called me in for a meeting, right? And she was like, oh, yeah, I want to go over the results with you about your daughter, Chanel, right? Because we not using no real names. So I want to go over the results with you about Chanel, right? So I'm like, okay. And she was like, you know, Miss Rue, that's me, y'all. She was like, I'm quite, like, confused because your daughter's very smart, you know what I'm saying? But these numbers, like, they not adding up. It's like, it's a little off, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. And she was, like, explaining stuff to me. I really ain't know. This was, like, 2 years ago, right? I really didn't know. Like, I had to do a lot of research for myself because it's like, I refuse to let them tell me. Like, you know your child better than anybody. All y'all parents down below, let me tell you, comment down below. You know your child better than anybody. I don't care if they special needs. I don't care if they not special needs. I don't care if they got a behavior problem. I don't care if they got a learning disability. Like, whatever the need is, you know your child better than anybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad because some of these parents, they be just letting these schools just throw labels on a kid like it ain't nothing. Like, oh, okay, he got that. She's autistic. Oh, she got ADHD. He got an IND. Oh, okay. Okay. And then the school try to get you comfortable. Like, oh, it's okay, you know, it's life after the diagnosis. You know, she could get a job, he could get a job, they could transition into a day treatment program, or, you know, my son has this, you know. Yo, these niggas tried to coerce me, like, you know, yeah, you know, this is what your daughter have. Like, it's okay, it's life after. You know, my son has the same thing, and, you know, he's doing very good. He packs bags at Publix. Publix is a supermarket, y'all. You know, I'm from New York, so we got ShopRite, Stop and Shop, Bravo, C-Town. Did I miss something? You don't remember? My daughter don't remember. But yeah, so out here we got Publix. She was like, yeah, my son packs bags in Publix and I'm like, yo, miss, if you don't go sit your retarded, like, listen, you look like you special your own self. Like, I'm not even trying to hear nothing you trying to say. You know what I mean? But they tried to coerce me to, you know? And I'm like, no. So she's like, yeah, so this is the diagnosis. Intellectual disability. Intellectual disability. Now, when she told me, I didn't know what that was. Like, I was like, oh, okay. What's that? Right? And she was like, oh, you know, her IQ is low. Intellectual disability means you have a low IQ, right? And you need assistance, and you can't function by yourself. You need assistance brushing your teeth, Like, you need to be told, like, okay, it's time to fix your hair. It's time to wash your face, Jimmy. It's time to put your shoes on. And I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is stupid. Like, my daughter don't, what? Long story short, right? My daughter had to, and a lot of these schools, right? They gotta diagnose your kid with something. You know why? I found out by doing my research. The parents, it's good to do your research because these people will tell you anything. And you can't believe anything that people say. You gotta go and dig deep and find out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Most of these schools, they have to reach like a certain number, like, so that they could get funding, if it makes sense. So the more kids that they diagnose, the more funding they get for the schools. The more kids that they diagnose, the more funding they get for the school. So if they're not labeling our kids, they're not getting no funding for the school, if that makes sense. And I'm going to say it again. If they not labeling our kids, they not getting no funding for the school. You know what I'm saying? So it's no new libraries, it's no new parks, it's no computers, no laptops. It's not none of that. You know what I'm saying? No new books. It's not none of that. Because they ain't label enough children. And it's sad because a lot of kids get misdiagnosed by these educational evaluations. That's the key word. Educational evaluation. So many kids' lives get messed up by these educational evaluations because they just want to they get misdiagnosed because the educational evaluations be off. So anywho, so back to what I was saying.